Well, hi everyone. How are we tonight? Sorry I wasn't able to do a live yesterday. It happens, and that's a big reason why I don't like to say I'm going to do a live at this time because of this or that, because things happen. So here we are. I have some clips I want to go over with you guys. I don't know how long of a live I'll be able to do. It'll be longer than yesterday's. But one thing I haven't really touched, and I do want to touch, are some things in the AWP video that that's when I kind of stopped touching the case. And it wasn't for any reason in particular. At that time, and it had absolutely nothing to do with what was coming out. As I don't really want to touch back on what was talked about yesterday. So for anybody that was here yesterday, watch the video from yesterday. I have my reasons. So I do want to kind of touch on that interview, on the uncut one, because there's some things that have always stuck out to me. And at first, I didn't really want to touch on them because of the fact that it could possibly stir the pot too much or different things. There's different reasons behind why I don't touch certain things at certain times. I swear there's a method to my madness, and I swear it's not to hide anything from anybody. It's just the way I do things. I don't want to. It's just the way I do things. I don't want to stir the pot. So I right now do want to touch on this and some things that have stuck out to me. Because as you've seen, I'm digging into the boca area. I'm digging into all different kinds of area. So one other thing that I did do for you guys, I've seen the comment over and over, and I had shared those screenshots with you guys of my Google Maps, my GPS coordinates, or whatever it is. How it was straight lines through this lake and all kinds of stuff. So I shared that, but what I did is I went on Google Earth and I actually just did a really quick video of, that drive of how it would look on Google Earth. So maybe that would help visually. I don't know, but I put it together for everybody. So, that you guys have it. So I always want to help in any way I can in anybody's own investigation. Took me just a little bit of time. So I figure why not? I'll put that together. Now I obviously know that way up. I realized I know it far too well because I had to slow down the video that I'll play for you guys because it went really quick because I was just flying through there, kind of like how I drive through there, I guess. So I have put that together for you. I don't know if you guys saw, but I actually finally this whole time have seen a AAA van. They exist. They 100% exist. And you guys know how I felt about that. I was like, no, there is no van. You don't understand. I've never seen one. In all the years I've lived up here, I've never seen a AAA van. I was adamant about there not being a AAA van because I hadn't seen it. It was never there at, AAA. Every time I would go by there, it just didn't exist to me. I didn't see it. I never saw it. And, funny not funny story, I did see the AAA van because it ran a red light and it ran it in front of me. And when it ran it in front of me, I was like, what is that? Like, oh my gosh, there's no way. So yeah, they exist. I got the picture finally. I have it. I actually took just a tiny little clip. So I have that. So I wanted to show you guys that the van does exist. So I will hold myself accountable for that. I said it didn't. It does. It absolutely does exist. But yeah, it's for small things. It says right on the side of it, batteries and something. I don't know. Don't quiz me on that. I don't even. Okay. I didn't know if I'd uploaded or not. So brief freak out. So let's get into, and I know you guys have seen it numerous times, the AWP video. But this is the one that's, 100% uncut. And I just there's some things that are said, and I don't honestly know exactly where it is on this. I had some weird technical issues. I've never had to verify me 3 times in a row to get into my own YouTube account. But hey, it is what it is. At least I know I can verify myself. So I want to get into this. I want to show you guys what I wanted to show you. Gosh, it feels like forever ago now. just different things that stuck out to me because, you know, these are pieces of the puzzle that everybody has to work together to put, you know, make it something whole. So I want to start this now, and let me see. I've seen all your guys' comments. Hi, everyone. I missed you all also. I wasn't going to do a live today. I was in a really bad mood. So here I am. So I pulled it together. I'm out of my mood. So let's get into this video. And if you guys can just do like the one for yes, you can hear it, because, you know, it's been a minute for a live for me. So.
So we just come out of Best Buy right here in Reno, Nevada, and Nick, a longtime supporter and fan of ours. Thanks, Nick, for coming up to us. I appreciate it. Nick has some information that could.
Let's start from the top.
Okay. Okay. Loud truck. Okay. No more loud.
It wouldn't surprise me, and this is just me being me. It wouldn't surprise me if that was, you know, just one of somebody's just driving by revving their trucks because they're like, oh look, it's Avengers with Purpose. Because I mean, you don't really see them in town very often, but that was a really awkward handshake right off the bat. So I start.
Loud truck. 2, 1, sync. So we just got out of Best Buy.
Sorry, guys. I told you it's been a minute for a live, so I just thought we should all watch that game together. So if y'all want to download that, then feel free. Sorry.
They're picking up some supplies here in Reno, Nevada. We're on our way to work the KIELY case just down the street in Truckee, California. And Nick, a longtime supporter, fan of ours, appreciate you for coming up to us, possibly has some information in regards to the KIELY case. So why don't you explain a little bit about what you may have run into?
So my name is Nick. I work at an emergency roadside assistance program. I got a call up in Truckee, Boca, for a battery call. So pretty much.
Okay, straight up battery call. I will take that 100%. I will take that because it literally says it on the side of said vehicle, batteries. So I'm taking that. I'm taking that. You guys don't have to. I am.
That means that the vehicle can't start. So I went en route up there, found the vehicle. At the time, I didn't realize that this was a situation until later on. But
yeah, just let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
You said you went to Boca.
Yes, sir.
So over near.
Okay, and Nick, I'm saying your name because, you know, this is saying your name right here. So I am saying your name. I don't. I mean, Nick right here says it's a situation. So I'm just, you'll see why I say that right later.
Boca Lake?
Yes, sir.
So not Prosser Lake, Prosser Creek Lake.
It's right by Prosser Creek.
Yeah, so just north. So you went to Boca.
Yes, sir.
And you said you responded to a vehicle, and you in hindsight realized it may.
And Aura, I took some screenshots of the little clip that I took, the video I took. You guys are more than welcome to take screenshots off of that. I am having a really hard time zooming in. I didn't get the best angle, but I mean, now I've seen it twice, so chances of me getting that angle again, as you guys know, my determination in this case, pretty high. So just leave that at that.
Have been this vehicle. What kind of vehicle was it that you responded to?
It was a gray, like a lightish gray Honda 4-door sedan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or SUV, I'm sorry.
SUV?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. And go ahead and describe what happened.
So when I first go there, I usually do tests on the vehicle to see what's going on. At first, when I went there, I realized after my test that everything was working great on the vehicle. Come to find out later, once I approached the vehicle and went inside, that the vehicle was in neutral. At the time, I thought that was kind of awkward that you can find out or realize that something like that could have been the case.
And honestly, yeah, Girls on Fire, I just saw your comment and then I saw Amanda respond. I honestly, in my opinion only, I believe Nick. I also think that the fact that when you guys see the van, it kind of changes things because I've seen many people comment, well, I'm sure he was involved and he had the big truck so he could take her car and all this stuff. I mean, I've seen all the comments, everyone. I see everything, and I see more than I want to sometimes. And the thing is that I believe he wants answers for the mom and the dad and the family. I believe he genuinely cares. That's been my opinion. I do have questions about what he says here. So that's why I want to go over that. Why he didn't drop the pen right off the bat. Like if you're not paying attention to the news and here, I've talked to people locally, in Nevada County, and some people don't. And I kid you not, they do not know about Kiely's case. Some people don't watch the news a lot. Some people are on their phones a lot. Everybody's a little different, So maybe they saw something and they're like, oh, okay, that girl was found. Or they didn't necessarily follow through with it all the way, or he didn't think about, okay, well, that was a weird incident. Oh, wait, what's this? And then maybe that's why it clicked, because maybe he hadn't heard about it yet. I mean, we have to think about the bigger picture, because it's not always how we would act or how we would, be on social media or be on YouTube or be on any different platform and see what we see. So just because we are also invested and there were, other locals and other people looking for her, it doesn't necessarily mean that Nick and, his fiance or girlfriend, whatever she was, like, I don't remember what he says in this, that they were watching the same kind of stuff and knew this stuff. So yeah, and people are busy in lives, and I can attest for that. Like, I have not gotten back to many messages right now and I feel awful, but I honestly do not have the time right this second, and I try to do my best. So it's people, they have to allocate their time as they can. So that's just something I want people to take into consideration too. I'm not saying I'm right. Obviously, I will always agree to disagree with everybody, but that's my opinion. So,
For why the vehicle wasn't starting, so I simply put it into park, started up the vehicle, everything was fine. At that point in time, I did notice that the female, which is Kiely, I realized after, she was.
And mind you, right here, he is very adamant that is Kiely. I mean, he is adamant. The female, which is Kiely, like, there's no hesitation in his voice whatsoever. And as I say that, it's on the screen, hesitant. So that's interesting, but so be it. But you know what I mean? There's no hesitation. He is 100% sure that that's Kiely. So
very hesitant and very skeptical on everything that was going on. She was asking me really weird questions, like in the sense of, how do you put on your seatbelt correctly? And okay, and she asked me to show her on how to connect it to her actual belt. Okay, that in my eyes, that was very awkward. I deal with things that are kind of awkward, so I was like, all right, it's just another day on the job.
Yeah.
And honestly, just pausing it at that moment, that gave me a great question that, that would be possibly asked was, okay, she was trying to get you to put her seatbelt on. Okay, well, do you recall her having a belt on? Was there a belt? Was there a black belt with a bunch of studs through it? You know what I mean? Like that's information that I believe, if you're, attempting to show somebody reaching around them to put their seatbelt on, then I mean, that's an observation that probably anybody would kind of notice. So
after that, she was stating on how she was there all night and she couldn't get her vehicle started due to the fact that now we both realized it was in neutral. She was wearing a sweatshirt, so it looked like she has been there for quite a while.
What color was the sweatshirt?
It was a gray sweatshirt.
Gray sweatshirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, she had a guy with her. He
Was it dark gray or light gray?
It was light gray.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there was a guy there that was with her at time being. He was wearing a flat top ball cap facing forwards, brown hair that's sticking out just a little bit on the sides. I didn't know. I assume that this is her boyfriend. I mean, from how they're interacting with each other.
And you guys already know, I'm not going to say names, but I have never, do not think whatsoever that it's that one person. Don't even put the name in the comments, please, and thank you. But I personally do not think it's that person.
But it was kind of like they were both kind of at unease is what it looked like for me, like as if either they had a crazy night or a crazy day or there's something going on I couldn't know, and at the time I didn't realize what was going on.
So let me stop you right there again.
Okay, so before I forget, here's one of my biggest questions. Why? If this is Kylie, okay, hypothetically speaking, this is Kylie at Boca on, the next day, the next morning, right? After the party. She stayed the night at Boca, wherever, technically wherever. Now, why didn't she and whoever John Doe is call one of their friends or family members? If it's a battery, if it's broken down, if you're close to home and you have friends in the car communities and you have friends in the truckee communities and you have friends in, Reno, and you have friends everywhere, it seems. I mean, she had friends everywhere, it seems. I mean, it's at some extent there were friends everywhere. The guy, I'm sure he knew people, right? So if they're both from, hypothetically speaking, they're both from Truckee, why would the first person they call be AAA and not a family member or a friend? That is a question that I have, because okay, maybe you're going to get in trouble, but how bad is that trouble going to be? You're home, you're safe. It's whatever. It doesn't math up to me. I would honestly be calling somebody I knew, or, there's two people together. So two people's chances of knowing somebody that can come and help them. The last person I'm calling, if honestly, is AAA. I don't want to have to deal with having to have my vehicle towed if it's a quick fix, or them bring me gas when I can have somebody else bring me gas. And that's me personally. And I don't know, maybe because they're young, I can't make it make sense. But that's something I wanted to say before I forgot about it. So I don't understand the AAA calling here, because it does, for me, I wouldn't do that. And that's why I don't know if you guys seen my video. I did make a video trying to see, I put one out on TikTok. I put one out on, I think Instagram too, but I put one here. Just, hey, were you at Boca on August 6th? And yeah, I have people that I found that were out there. So, time will tell. But, I feel like there's that one person that maybe doesn't realize, oh yeah, when I was leaving that vehicle, I think that's important. I think that there is that one person. If they're this close to Boca Rest campground, that's a pretty open camping area. You're going to see something happening by that road there. Obviously with the snow, I told you guys it was raining and it was like, yes, it's raining. So excited. Yeah, no, that didn't last. I think I jinxed myself. I don't know what just happened, but I woke up to a bunch of snow and it stopped for a little bit right now. So hopefully it stays stopped, but yeah, I'm not going out there anytime soon. It's pretty much impossible. 80 shut down right now. So yeah, so I don't know. I have these questions, you guys. White shirts were the dress code for searchers, or something had already happened and Guy didn't want clean Lindsay FOIA call logs. I have, Caleb, I have some of the call logs. I wonder if Plunder has them. The rest of them, I know somebody. I believe somebody was getting them or got them. I don't know. I have some of them. So what phone called AAA? Yeah, that's exactly it. And don't worry, I'm working on that part too. I'm definitely working on that part. And I don't know. It just, yeah, I just don't. I don't. That's why I said I'm always struggle with this part is because I just can't. I don't know. The cameras, yes, I get it. Everybody manipulated this, that, and the other. Gotcha. But it does show a vehicle going into the lake at some point. Doesn't mean it was that day. Okay. Hypothetically, we don't know that it was exactly that day. We don't know that it wasn't altered. We can't prove that it was. We can't prove that it wasn't, but there's just things that I can't make sense with that. And this throws a loop for, in it. And remember, I'd taken boca out forever. So you have to understand how hard my head's trying to wrap around all of it too. So could it have been somebody that looked just like her? Absolutely. Could it, and honestly, a lot of them look very much alike. So much alike that I have thought people were sisters. I have a picture of somebody that I looked at for a solid 5 minutes trying to figure out if it was somebody's sister because they looked like twins. So the chances of it being somebody else, possibility, absolute possibility. So let's get back into this because there's still more things I want to touch on.
In hindsight, you're realizing all of this. When do you think that this took place? Was it before, during the day, after she disappeared?
To be honest with you, it's either right after she disappeared or right before she disappeared. Okay. But it was around noonish, like 11 o'clock in the morning when I got out to her. Okay. And at that point in time, once we finished everything, she did advise that she was going to be going home later in the day and that she needs to grab some things and she was going to be heading out. So I advised her that, hey, keep your vehicle running and, you can get home. But during that.
And that's another question I'd like to ask him. Where did she say where she was heading? Where was she heading out to? Because, if, that person says they're giving that much information, oh yeah, I'm heading out. Well, they probably disclosed that. Maybe he didn't want to say, maybe forgot it at that moment, got nervous. But if somebody's saying, yeah, I'm leaving later today to go, it's usually to go do something. It's not just, yeah, I'm leaving later today. Okay, we'll leave your car running. No, that's not usually how it works in, a conversation. So that's definitely something that I would want to know from him is, hey, did she say where she was going? Because then that kind of validates or invalidates if that truly was KIELY also.
Period of time, after the period, I told her that I was going to leave and I hope you have a great day. Vehicle, I told her to keep it running for a couple of hours to obviously make sure everything is working good on the vehicle, charging system-wise. At that point in time, then I left, and then a week later is when I saw at a coffee shop that she was gone, and then that brought
some. Saw this on a flyer or something?
Yeah, wow. I came in with my girlfriend. We went into a coffee shop, and it was a flyer, and I was just in.
And my other question, where was said flyer? Which coffee shop? Was it in Truckee or was it in Reno? Valid question.
Awe, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me for a little bit because I'm like, that's the girl that I was working with. Granted, the pictures I saw, she wasn't wearing a ball cap with me. She was wearing a ball cap and it was blue ball cap. Awe, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me for a little bit because I'm like, that's the girl that I was working with. Granted, the pictures I saw, she wasn't wearing a ball cap with me. She was wearing a ball cap and it was blue ball cap. I'm sorry about that. But then everything spiraled out of control and I got in contact with the detective and tried to do everything I could. And then I saw you guys. I was like, all right, this is awesome. Like, let me go and try to catch up to you.
So my question is this, is if everything spiraled out of control and you're working with detectives, why are you at AWP? I don't know. I just don't know.
Thanks for the intel. That's how everything that we do unfolds organically when we get into town, from our viewers, locals who understand what we're doing. They contribute to what we're doing from all different angles. Like this is massive. You know, whether this was the day before, the day of, or the day after, this is a massive revelation into possibly leading us into the right direction of possibly finding her. Now we know we probably have a tie to Boca, you know, which was already on my radar. Do you know who placed the call to your roadside company? Was it her or the boyfriend or?
So I can't get details. Calls don't go through me. They go through.
Yeah, you just get digitally dispatched. So you don't have.
Yes, sir.
So when you were digitally dispatched, did you call them to say you were coming, or you just showed up?
I did call and nothing went through. It went
Nothing
straight
went
to voicemail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if she had a phone on her at the time?
She did state that her phone was dead,
Her phone
and
was
so
dead.
she used whatever guy, whoever this was, if it was her boyfriend, she used his phone. So that's how she did get.
Okay, so my question's here. If she used the boyfriend or dude's phone, how did you call a different number? Where did the number come from? Is the number what number? Where did the number come from? I just don't get where the number came from. So did you call in from your boyfriend's number and then give him your number and then call that number back and just forgot to say to call the boyfriend or the dude that's with you's numbers back? I'm just trying to get it to make. How did he get the number? Where did the number come from? Because I know you need your phone number for AAA. Mind you, I've been stuck in Lake Tahoe. We've gone over that before. I know you have to give them your phone number. But if you're calling from a different number, I believe they would probably, give them that number. And how did you get that number to call? See, it's just not making sense in my head. And the more I'm talking about, the more it doesn't make sense. Because how did you call? I'm confused. Let's keep going.
And what was, you mentioned, like, did you call them to say you were coming, or you
Sorry, guys, I have to hear this again.
just showed up?
I did call and nothing went through. It went
Nothing
straight to
went through?
voicemail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if she had a phone on her at the time?
She did state that her phone was dead,
Her phone
and
was
so
dead.
she used whatever guy, whoever this was, if it was her boyfriend, she used his phone. So that's how she did get in contact.
Okay, so maybe here's my theory on this. Okay, not my theory, but here's my thoughts going backwards. Maybe whoever this is, called it in, didn't leave a number, whatever. He calls to say, "Hey, I'm on my way. The phone's dead." And then gets there, and then that's when they start talking, and she says her phone's dead. I don't know why that would get brought up. It's whatever at this point. But that's just a little bit of what like I said, I want to see both sides. I want to see different sides. I don't want to just have, okay, this is this way, but it was just, it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe after my live, I'll play it back a little more and try to make it make sense to me. But yeah.
What was, you mentioned, like, she was asking funny questions and acting weird.
So, like, the most funny question, the one that stood out that I remember is about the seatbelt. I've never about how to buckle a seatbelt.
Why should you use Miro? When you draw on a whiteboard, no one sees it. With Miro, you plan together in real time.
So, in granted, I at the time I didn't realize again that.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the towing industry my whole life, so you see a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of weird stuff, and it's actually pretty normal.
Yeah.
So I can see why at the time it's just.
But she kept on going over that, like, how do you like, secure your seatbelt firmly and like do it correctly, and that's when
she was asking this. Was the guy that she was with right there too?
He was on the opposite side of the car.
So he could hear the conversation as well?
Yes, sir. Yeah. And I did notice, and this is also something that I stated to the detective, that every single time the guy would come over to us, she would go on to the other side. And it was just like a back and forth, like a tag team. Better to say, like, one person would come over, she wouldn't stay near him, and then it would go vice versa. Or if we were at the front of the car going about the battery and talking about the battery, he was always on one side, she was on.
But how long does one talk about said battery if the vehicle was in neutral?
because yeah, that screams awkwardness, someone being uncomfortable, and when in that scenario, if he was there with her, he should have been right next to her, if not dealing with you the entire time, and
Exactly.
not her.
He didn't really speak that much, to be honest.
Did she seem high or intoxicated or?
I try not to judge people at that point, so I try not to, like, you know.
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm going to say this respectfully. You should be judging the F out of them right then and there. If it was that awkward, you should have been judging them up and down like that. That's my 2 cents.
I thought that maybe she was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed, is what I could best describe as if you're going through a lot. So and I understand, you know, some people go through things, but now looking back at it, now it raises suspicion to me, and I know the detective on, okay, what is actually going on, what did happen that day, and what was the reason for her being gone. So I think that's pretty relevant. That's why I try to chase you guys down as soon as I saw you.
Can you show me on the map?
Yeah.
Where you saw her?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring Google up here.
But why are you chasing them down if you have a detective? Okay, these are questions that I have. So like I said, I'm saying all these respectfully because these are questions that I genuinely have. Why are you chasing them down if you have a detective that's working on this? We all know that Adventures with Purpose is there to recover, not rescue, recover. So if you have a detective on this and Kylie has not been located yet, why are you so adamant about AWP being involved in finding and recovering the vehicle? Okay, just a question. This is a question that I have.
Really quick, just get to a meeting. Is your microphone on?
Sure is.
Screen recorder?
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
How do I get into those photos?
All right, so we're here in Reno.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down to Truckee. There's
Boca?
there's Prosser, there's Boca.
Yep.
Okay.
Just drop a pin on the road exactly where you saw her.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, and that's the thing here. I'm going to mute this and let it play because this part doesn't really say much. It just goes on the map. But yeah, that's the thing. It was weird enough to not judge them, but it's weird enough to call your girlfriend right after. Yeah, absolutely. Like what? I would be judging the heck out of everything. I would tell you how many teeth were like loose. Like, no, what? I just can't make it make sense.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the northeast side of, there it is.
The turnout. Your buddy has it on his phone now. We're at the right place, right? Boca.
And my question to AWP is if this is 100% uncut, can you tell me how he had it on his phone already? I will email you if you'd like, but I would really like to know that. 100% uncut. Did you guys do all this before you started recording? Because I mean, in some of these you're showing where you are starting to record, so I don't understand that. Yeah, and I'd like to know what his girlfriend said about it too. Reno's 45 minutes from Boca. Processors, nah, it's about 37. I'd give it 37 minutes. I could tell you exactly how far away Reno is from Boca. We'll go over that in a second. Well, not the exact timing, but we'll go over the map that I took. So you guys have that.
Okay, you come in, you follow this road down.
Possibly.
Yeah. Something's wrong, especially with the how to use a seatbelt.
Sorry, guys, I'm looking for something in particular, but it's not really working out in my favor. So here we go.
It's great information
Absolutely.
that could lead us. You know, Boca was on my radar already as one of our very next locations. And if you're talking about running into her the next day, she doesn't have a phone. She's at another campground. Her phone is dead. She's with somebody. That's
Distressed, possibly.
yeah. Something's wrong, especially with how to use a seatbelt.
Yeah.
That's extremely alarming. Was that a distress call, or was she just out of it because she had been drinking all night? She was at a party.
Yep.
All night long. We know
Yeah.
we know due to accounts of other people who were at the party who said that she was highly intoxicated.
I just saw somebody mention 22 cents. Oh, Anonymous Sleuther. Yes. Our 22 cents, I think it's our 22 cents, has some really good videos out right now. One of them is absolutely amazing. You guys need to go watch it. He basically, it sounds like he's got a team with him of people that are working on Kylie's stuff. So they called a bunch of law enforcement agencies, got the ring around, and then finally got an answer from Detective Sonier. And basically Detective Sonier was saying that, what was it? CHP, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody on here, but CHP and FBI were still doing their part of the investigation. However, no matter what their investigation turned up, it would not change Kylie's cause of death, which is just absolutely absurd to me. So, yeah, about that. Yeah, he's definitely getting the runaround. So yeah. Oh, it's him and his brother. Okay, yeah. And they're awesome. Yeah. So you guys definitely check out their videos, because I mean, I was the answer he got was just like flooring. It's unreal. And I do have an update to give you guys real quick while I have this on top of my head on Trinity. Brandon was listed thanks to Sifa. I was seeing it in she released the death certificate or something like that, I believe, and Brandon was listed on there. So Brandon is working with Sifa on getting the information on Trinity. So he will have all those answers. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because I don't believe it's going to be what everybody was is as some were thinking, but he's going to get his answers. And his wife had their baby, so they had their baby girl. She's healthy, she's doing well. So I did want to share that with you guys also. But let's get back to Kylie. Yeah, definitely check out our 22 cents videos. They're great, you guys.
So if this was the next day, she's going to appear to be hungover and so forth. So I don't know. There's a lot of things you can draw from that, but it's great information. And thank you for coming up to us. Thank you for watching everything we do.
Thank you.
Supporting everything we do. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this position. Just simply watching what we do makes us able to do everything that we do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I got some questions. Based on just everything you just said and your experiences there, what is your outcome? What do you think went on?
I think it something was going on between her and whoever the male was that she was with, is from what I saw, just due to her character and how she was holding herself and the questions that she was asking. So I think something happened to her more than something accidental.
And there's the part that I've been waiting to pause on. Why is it something happened to her more than accidental? Kylie is still alive at this point, isn't she? For all we know, she's missing. Kylie is missing at this point. I would just like to know why you said that it was something more than accidental. Curious, always stuck with me. Definitely don't know why that was said. I really would like to know, because Kylie was still missing at this point.
Based on how her car was positioned, which way do you think she would have naturally started driving?
Going out the road.
Towards town?
Yeah. To the road that leads you up to the highway. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
All right, guys, let's get into some other clips. Yeah, so I don't know. I just, oh gosh, that was loud. Sorry, I thought we were getting into other clips. I can't get out of this one. Okay. So let's look at the van. Let's finally look at the van, you guys. I'm so proud of myself. You don't even know. I didn't think I would ever see it again after it ran that red light. And sure enough, it said, here I am. So. So, AAA batteries delivered and installed, roadside assistance, AAA, little baby van. It's so tiny. I don't know what's on top. Kind of looks like camera. I just now noticed that. I don't know what that is, but hey, let's check it out. And then I was showing you guys my GPS again, showing me driving straight through. Yeah, that's definitely on top of that vehicle, isn't it? Let's see this again. Oh yeah, that's your GPS. Is that little GPS tracker on top? Looks like a little GPS tracker on top. See, we always find things when we watch videos together, you guys. So that is the little van. So Nick keeps getting verified true, but still sus. No, I don't know. I think Nick, I just have some questions for him. Like, I'm not saying I said I think he has pure intentions here. I just think that there's some things that were said that that I have questions on, like why was it an accident? I mean, why were you saying it's non-accidental right off the bat? Kylie's just missing at that point. There's questions I have, and I believe he would remember some of them. Like, was she wearing a belt? If you're putting a seatbelt on somebody, you would remember if she had a belt. But could it have been somebody that looked just like her? Yeah, it could have been too. I mean, that's absolutely not out. That's not far-fetched either. I mean, we've seen weirder things, honestly. But was somebody in that area camping that weekend? Absolutely. There was a ton of people. It's the middle of summer. So somebody was there. Somebody would have seen this encounter. If the, footage is missing and gone and whatnot, somebody would have seen this. That is a very open area over there at Boca Rest Campground. It's not anywhere to really hide behind a tree or anything. All the bushes are pretty low right there on the side of the road. I don't, unless they were up further, but from where he's showing on the GPS, it's pretty open right there. You would have seen a yellow little van like this out there. So I don't know. Yeah, the perfume for sure. Because I don't know. One, was that ever recovered? I never saw anything that was recovered. I mean, I don't think we're going to see a lot of what was recovered. So I don't know. But I am going to go on to the next video and show you guys exactly the way I took from, let's see, which one's this? Oh, okay. Here's a little meeting I watched today that I wanted you guys to watch this little part of. I wanted to share it with you because it's quite interesting. Just go ahead and listen to this real quick. You guys remember the big truck or the big thing that the police department needed, right? It was like 400 and something thousand, I think. This kind of goes into that. Like, what are you guys spending your money on? Like, where's your money going, Sorry, guys, my mouse just decided to not work anymore. I don't even know how to get it over there. mouse seriously won't go over there. That's interesting. All right. Technical difficulties to the fullest. Hold on one sec, you guys. I'll read your comments while I'm trying to fix this. I'm just going to switch off the mouse. Just 1 sec. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying. Was the perfume used as an air freshener? Yeah, and I've seen that comment many times actually. Oh yeah, that would be a good Arrow Creek. Okay, why won't it let me go over to that screen? Any reason in particular my computer would be stuck on this? Okay, let's try this again. I think it was just frozen. Yeah, here we go. Finally. Golly. Thanks for being patient, you guys.
First of all, I'd like to thank Ed Schofield for last week asking the board to pull the agenda item 31. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago. That agenda item showed a discrepancy of over over bad. And then the CEO, Allison Lehman, asked for the CFO to step up and do his best. And he deferred all questions to the analyst, as you remember. And I, again, said, well, we wanted to know where this money is. And I didn't get an answer. And Allison, did you prepare some form of documentation regarding that, where that money went?
You do.
Jen did not ask for a board or a chair of that Department of Public Health to come to the meeting, just as you did not ask for the company that you hired to track every cell phone in Nevada County under COVID. You never put anything on the agenda on behalf of District 4 constituents. And here we go and say you were transparent and you were wonderful. That's fine. It's not about you personally. It's about the oath of office and your duty. For example, the January meetings that you had, where then you did not publish the meetings online. And Allison, you told me directly to my face that these were not recorded. And then I contacted Nevada County Media and they said, oh yes, we videotaped those. Why were they kept off of the website of Nevada County, of the County Board of Supervisors? Because there's cover up in this county. And I believe you guys, and Ed, thank you again for pulling that off the agenda so that at least there was an opportunity for the public to find out where the money is going. And I pray that this year will be less oppressive than this last year. Thank you.
Dang, that guy was mad about it. And it was what, $2.7 million? Something like, was it 2.7? Is that what he said? Or 2.1? I can't remember. I think it was 1.7, then I don't even remember. But man, he has valid points. Where is the money? Where did the money go? Why is the money missing? Yeah, so that's just a little bit of what happened in today's meeting. Kiki, I'm sure you watched most of it or all of it, but yeah, there was a lot happening. So I don't know if you guys caught that, but he called that guy out for, approving the company used to track all cell phones during COVID. I don't really know when that stopped. I don't really know anything about that program. I definitely want to look into that program because that guy had some very valid points. So let's get into GPS of where my videos from Boca are, just how that looks on Google Earth, because this is the video I took of it. I'm going to slow it down because I did watch it for a few seconds and I guess I just went too fast. So I want you guys to be able to see this. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it for a little bit, read some comments, stop it on different areas. But I want you to have that Google Earth image of where you go on those turns that I made. Actually, I should probably just walk everybody through this. This makes the most sense. Okay. So right here, this is 80, obviously. Coming from Reno, you're getting off right here on Hirschdale. So when I come down to the bottom of that road where that sign says Hirschdale this way, golly, don't quiz me on this. It says a bunch of other things on there. That sign, the one that says Boca, Hirschdale, all that sign is right here. Okay. So then we drive down. This is that area where I took of, where it looks like a little, the water and all that. And this was out looking that way. These are the train tracks that run through there. I've been stuck here numerous times because they were working on the train tracks. Actually, I have some video of it because seeing one of those little tiny cars on one is quite funny, or seeing a big old truck driving down it like it's a vehicle is quite funny. I wasn't expecting to see that any of the times I had gone. Okay, so that's self-explanatory. This is Boca Dam. This right here, this parking area, this is where most of my footage was from in the videos that I've shared. Can you drop today so I can DL it? Can you drop? Yeah, and so that's right there on that parking lot where somehow, some way on Google Earth there's a white Suburban or Tahoe there, and then one of the days that I was there was a white Suburban or Tahoe there. They're not the same vehicle, I do not believe, unless this person just really likes Boca. Up here going this way, you're not going to be able to see it on Google Earth because I didn't do that. I wanted to show the drive on this, but going up this way is, and way up that way is the area of Boca Rest Campground, where the GPS coordinates per Nick's phone said he was with that vehicle. So then we're just going to take Boca Dam Road down. This is that area I made that video where I pulled out. I'm just going to keep going. So you're pretty much just going to follow the main road for anybody that's going to do it themselves on Google Earth. You're just going to follow that main big road. It gets to dirt in many places because it is a dirt road in many places. On all the turns, you're only going to make a left turn at the big intersection, or it's not really an intersection. You'll see what I mean. So you're always going to be making a left. But yes, there are many different ways and routes and roads and stuff out here. That's more like I don't know. It's not a road. Just like even getting to other areas, you can cross over, but here, so you have to go. And yes, I've gone down I know this area like the back of my hands. That's why I said I had to slow this down. This is at 0.5 speed. So I didn't even realize how fast I was doing it. So here we are at Prosser. We're now at Prosser. It looks really close. It's really not. So here's Prosser Dam. So many white trucks, right? I've shared some footage from back up here. And then sometimes when I go this way, I take this little road down this way. Sometimes I just don't feel like going down that road, so I go this way. That location obviously is where the Honda CR-V was located, over here. And then there's this road that comes down right here, and it comes down right here. I always go down this one because this one runs, you know, parallel with the lake. And this video is actually 10/24, or the date from Google is from 10/24 of 20. So this is pretty much exactly the route I would take, because, you know, obviously it's come down, you know, a lot, but my last video was in that I showed September 24th. So it's going to be, if that's how low it was, 10/24, it's about the same, I would assume. But this is where I crossed right here. And obviously a bunch of people cross through right here. You can always go back up this way if you don't feel like, you know, going through any mud that's possibly through all this. This is that hill right here. And this is that little side road that runs parallel with the other road. I'll show you in a second. Sorry, I'm reading comments too, and then I get, yeah, Panhill. I get distracted. Google Earth is pretty cool if you guys actually think about it. I mean, we used to have to use like map books back in the day. So here's the Y. Right here is the Y. This is the road that, you know, would have led out there. Still can see the bottom down here. I mean, it looks pretty steep, but you can still see it. Yes, I may or may not have been looking for the bush on here. So this is the area, you guys. So that is the route that I take. That is exactly how I get there. I hope that helps. I've seen that comment quite often. Can you please show the way you take? I tried to ask you on my live last night, but you had already left. Do you have any footage of the left side of the bank where they extracted her car? This is where they extracted her car right here. Do I have footage of over here? I have a lot of footage of over here. I think I have a whole video in one of my beginning videos that I posted. But yeah, I'll look. Okay, let me get this other video up for you guys. Oh yeah, so this area I haven't really seen anybody talk about, and I guess it wouldn't really make sense for anybody to talk about it if, you know, they're not familiar with it. But I thought I put a video together with the Google Earth part of it, and I don't see it on here, so that's a bummer. But I will show you guys Google Earth because I do want you to see how close. Yeah, I don't think I combined them, so I'll have to download it. But this area has been of question to me because of the fact that, one, in the in the, fire cam footage, this area has a direct view through the trees that lights would be able to be picked up on. It goes up quite a little bit. It's really closer than it appears. So this is where I personally think the vehicles met up, the ones that sped away after the fact. Those two vehicles that literally flew up after, and one goes back down and one goes around the other side of the lake to a spot that I keep bringing up, that I will be touching on, because there is a very, very, very good reason for that. And that goes straight back to the fire cams, because people, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of videos. So I don't know if people have done footage after the party and anything that may have happened after, so I'm not going to touch on it until I have that video finished, because that's been, in the process for quite some time. I just get sidetracked and start working on something else. But that's something I definitely want to touch on, because they met up what I think is in this area. So you'll see why. And you can perfectly see the lake also from this area. And this is going up towards the sanctuary. So there's Prosser. And then over there is where the fire cams would be. So I don't know exactly where they would have met up, but this is the area that I personally think. It's very open to where cars can just fly up here and park real quick. This all is open right here too. This area is actually much more open than where I'm standing in this video. So I will show you guys the Google Earth on that. I thought I had uploaded it. I guess I did not. So I apologize for that. Let's get in this other one. These videos were shared with me today. We're just going to call the person Larry, because I don't want to share his user handle, all that kind of stuff. He'd asked if I had gone into any of the helicopter footage, and I had gone into some, but I hadn't seen this view. And this kind of goes back into the yellow tape. I've watched a video of, from KCRA, because that was who I originally watched it from. As everything was happening, was KCRA and, one of the news stations up here in Reno. So this one there's two of them, and this one was quite interesting, because right here at the bottom, you can totally see where it is taped, it's definitely cautioned off. We've talked about that before, but it for sure is. But you can definitely see all the vehicles coming in. You can see how many people are actually here on scene for this. And it's just kind of eye-opening how this many people failed KIELY. Yeah, I'm putting it on you guys, because if you're saying to somebody that no matter what the FBI and the CHP report come up with, that it's not going to change KIELY's cause of death, that's insane to me. That is insane. You do not even have any clue on how the vehicle got into the lake, but no matter what, it's going to stay an accident. No. That makes no sense at all. And yeah, definitely an area of interest marked off. Yeah. And this area, as I pointed out in another one of my videos, this area was very much, it's in multiple interviews where people are reporting that if you zoom in enough, there's people out there, they're searching that, but they're doing it at night. And if you notice, you don't see anybody really over here doing anything with it during the day. So that's a little strange to me. I make it make sense, I guess. I don't know. Now I paused it here because obviously you can clearly see the vehicle coming up. I don't know why they have two tow trucks. That is what it is, I guess. But you can clearly see the vehicle coming up. I I want to see if I can get a one of it before they pretty much put anything onto the vehicle, where the vehicle is completely still submerged, not touched by a tow truck line, because I want to see if you can see it. Honestly, I do. I've heard that you can see it in drone footage, but I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I would like to see if you can see that, because I guarantee you can see that vehicle. I mean, that I feel like you would definitely see that vehicle. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I will admit when I'm wrong. So I would like to see that too. I don't know. Have any of you guys seen that? I'm looking in the comments. I will never pledge helping our true crime community. Doesn't make sense, and the silence is suspicious. Yeah, silence is absolutely suspicious. Like that's the biggest problem here, is that no matter what, it's staying an accident. Like, how can you say that? That cold cases don't even, I mean, not cold cases, some people that are, put as an accident, they change all the time. So how are you going to say it's going to stay that way? Unless it's a game they're playing and they are doing more than they're willing to let on, and they're just, I don't know. I feel like I'm making excuses for them. Sorry. Let me rotate this real quick. Can I rotate this? Okay, here we go. So here's another clip on it. And then I think those are all the videos I'm going to go over tonight. And I mean, you guys can see right here. So this is the area that they have sectioned off. There's 1, 2, 3. It looks like 3 guys, girls, whatever. There's the bush where the memorial is now. So, no. And then that guy was walking over there. So there's 4 people there now. So, or maybe he was just walking the whole time. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, there's obviously not much that makes sense. I've told you guys where my focus is right now, for sure. I do want to go over something with you guys that I am going to work on, and anybody that wants to help with this is more than welcome to. I have to figure out how to, but I want to see what the chances are of creating like a, hear me out, like a KIELY alert. And it may, and I don't know if I feel like there should be some kind of alert to maybe like local counties or something like that, where they don't quite meet the, all 3 things that have to be part of an Amber Alert, but they do meet 2 out of the 3 things that are enough cause of concern to where they put out a KIELY alert, to where it notifies maybe the local counties near that can, just put those eyes out. Because like I said, maybe a lot of people didn't watch the news or didn't watch social media or didn't watch YouTube or didn't know. There are people that I know that didn't even know who KIELY was. So, I mean, maybe something like a KIELY alert. I think that would be a good idea. I mean, it might help. Everything I think helps in a situation like this, when a child goes missing or there's no answers, but they don't quite meet the criteria. Every second counts, if that truly was her on August 6th and there was a KIELY alert that she did absolutely meet 2 of those, both of those things, then maybe she would have been found, and maybe she would have, maybe all those people at Boca or all those people at Prosser, hypothetically speaking, that it was her on August 6th during the day. Maybe they would have gotten a notification and looked down at their cell phone and been like, oh my God, that's that car right there getting help. If that was her, I just think something like that would be, I think that would be really awesome. I think that would be helpful. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I think that there should be something like that. I talked about doing something in the beginning when I started. And I think that's something I really want to dig into. And if any of you guys are like really good at that type of stuff, I would totally appreciate your help on that, because I think it would just be a step in the right direction. Because Obviously, at this point, all we can do is fight to get her justice, because there's no way you're going to convince me that this was an accident. The fact that you're not willing to change the cause of death, even with not knowing a CHP or FBI investigative report, just kind of confuses me and baffles me. So at least if one thing can get done here, with that side of it, law enforcement side, maybe getting some kind of alert going, that would be awesome. I think that would be something in the right direction. So, hey, Captain Kurt, how are you? Yeah, so I wanted to throw that out there to you guys. So I am going to hop off of here. I wanted to get, anything I could out for you. I hope that map helps you a little bit. I will get a Google Earth of that area that I showed you a minute ago, because that to me, it seems exactly where those cars would have gone and met up, because it's literally on that same road as the sanctuary. Because remember, I was like, wait, did they drive all the way back up to the sanctuary? No, they didn't. They didn't go quite all the way up. They went around that little corner right there. And that little corner around there, if you guys remember me on the, fire cams, that little corner right there is exactly where that is. And it hadn't really clicked until, I want to say, about a week ago. So that is an area that I want to pay attention to. Also, I have a lot of footage on my phone of that, because for some reason, I always went there before I would go up to the sanctuary. It just was always an area that just looked like where people would hang out. And I could never figure out, okay, well, maybe they hung out here instead of up top. No, they definitely didn't. So I want to get some stuff for you guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. It was nice catching up with you guys, and I hope some of this, helps you guys in your own investigations. As always, if you have questions, I will try to get back to your emails as best as I can. Hobart Mills, and I've seen that comment a lot. Hobart Mills, I can get you some Google Earth on that, but I don't know what everybody is sticking on the Hobart Mills thing. I want to say back in September, I had that in my inbox like every other day. So I would definitely like to know what that's about, because I know where that area is. I can show you it on Google Earth, but I've never been up that way, I don't think. Now, if you drive all the way past Sanctuary, does that take you? No, because that just takes you on a little road that goes off 89. I'll look at it, but I don't think I've ever been to that area, but I'll definitely be able to do some Google Earth for it and show you guys. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. All right, thanks.